follow me when the sky starts to change. Yeah, we won't be afraid. We'll never be the same again.
With anime in our souls and thoughts of wrestling out of control, we are a group of weebs who love the entertainment of professional wrestling. So allow us to be the voices inside of your head as we go through the wrestling event of the evening, give our thoughts and predictions on what's to come, and provide an experience inclusive to all you nerds out there. So grab your steel chair, yell for the table, get put through an experience unlike any other. Brought to you, of course, by NMOE Studios. This is the Weebs of the Ring podcast. Welcome everybody to the show. Raw tonight was a fun. It was a fun show. I'll say that much. Not too much exciting happened, but hey, we'll come to that road when we cross it. Because hey, we got some things to talk about. We got a Gunther promo that was pure class, exactly what it needed to be. We had the reveal of the masked man that's been helping the vision and all that. And of course, we've got some other shenanigans that happened tonight involving the women and the tag teams and all that. So we're in for a good, fun show tonight, everybody. As you see, we've got our panelists here. We've got our co-host. I can't speak words today. The English language is just escaping me today. It's been a long weekend. I was out there at DC for John Cena's last match. Great time out there had, despite DC despising the finish of the night. But hey, clear heads prevail. We knew what the outcome was going to be. If you didn't, sorry about your bad luck. You're just not paying attention at all. But we love to see all you out there, whether you're new, old, or anything in between. We love you guys. We love seeing you guys. The growth has been great on the channel, and we love the support coming from you guys. But if you're new around these parts, we do want to let you know who we are exactly. I, of course, am your reigning, defending, undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion of the world. That's right, it's Watkins here. I'm going to be your guide through this wrestling event of the evening, giving you my thoughts and predictions on what's to come, as I said in the intro. And of course, never alone in this endeavor. We're missing Vash again tonight. The Rock really laid it on to him this weekend. He's taking some time to recuperate, so you'll see him on Thursday when we do a special end of the year show for 2025. But joining me as always is the genius of the mat himself. He's going to help us process these stories that continue to push the envelope when it comes to WWE's storytelling. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Drop This Box. Drop, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good, and as chat can see, I am wearing my new One Piece shirt because I recently got into One Piece not that long ago. I was at Target the other day. I decided to pick up this shirt because I was like, you know what? I know I'm only 2 arcs in, but one of the things that you typically do when you start getting into a series and you start, really getting into it and everything, you start, buying merch or whatever the case may be. So I found this nice Luffy shirt at Target, and I'm losing a lot of weight considering that I've been working out a lot more. So I'm able to fit into it, which I'm super proud about. And, that's just a bonus thing that we typically share in the beginning of our show. So if you see us spark conversation like that towards the beginning, we sometimes throw that in there. Obviously, you're going to get your wrestling talk. But like Watkins said, I am the genius of the mat. Drop this box. And when it comes to Monday Night Raw, there was probably only certain things I was really looking forward to, if I'm being honest with you. Like, definitely for sure, the very first thing, which we'll obviously dive into to begin our show, because what we normally do, you guys love hearing, oh my God, what just happened? We give that to you right away, so don't worry. You don't have to wait towards the end. But like outside of like the Gunther thing and probably what we saw towards the end, which I have a few words on that, not as much as the Gunther stuff. A lot of it was like, okay. I mean, that's probably like the best way to explain it. Not no new era thing, which I don't know why that keeps getting thrown around a lot all the time. I mean, we get it. It's almost like, what, we're Groundhog Day, like repeating that same phrase over and over again. I'm not entirely sure why, but I mean, we get it. But yeah, how'd you feel about Raw?
I mean, like I said earlier, like there was it was a fun show. I'll
Yeah.
say that. Like it wasn't anything again too groundbreaking. Nothing that was just like, oh, we're here for this new era, which is just a buzz phrase now
Really is.
for every single week. It feels like, or every month. It's just like we're entering a new era of the WWE. It's just like how many times do we have to say that?
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
come on, dude. Like it's been like that for the past 2.5, 3 years now since you've taken power. Like, are we in the new era, or are we still waiting for the new era? When is that going to happen, or is it going to happen with this anniversary show of Netflix? I don't know, but I will say this though. There was a certain energy in the arena tonight
Mhm.
that did kind of feel a little refreshing.
Mhm.
And it's something I've been kind of thinking about this whole year when it comes to John Cena's like retirement tour and all that, because I feel like WWE kind of they really hyper focused on that retirement tour and kind of put a lot of other storytelling to the side burn. And it feels like now that John's gone and now that we're done with this, it's like, okay, now let's refocus on what we have and not like have this big focus on John Cena's retirement tour. Cause, that's divisive on its own right, which one day I think we'll probably be talking about that. Maybe on Thursday, we'll talk about that a little bit during
Yeah.
our little end of the year awards show, if you will, for the Weebs of the Ring. But yeah, I mean, Raw was it was a fun show. There was some good stuff. There was some mediocre at best stuff, which is fine. Like nothing really outwardly pissed me off, at least during the
Mhm.
show. And I mean that just means it was a good show. Then like I I had fun. That's fine. That's why I watch wrestling, to have fun with things. And especially, and we're just gonna dive right into it, everybody. This opening segment with Gunther. Now, as Drop said, normally we do start with how the show ended, but I'm sorry, we got to talk about this opening segment first, because Gunther just comes out, and this is something that you and I were kind of talking about in our Discord channel, which, if you want to join our Discord, link in the description below. But we were kind of talking about, okay, how does Gunther come out on Monday Night Raw? He kind of needs to start Monday Night Raw. And
Yes.
you and I were both kind of thinking, okay, this needs to be something very akin to how Roman came out after defeating The Undertaker, because obviously there's going to be a chorus of boos, which there were, and Gunther just needs to relish in it, which he did, and he doesn't need to say so much, which he didn't, which was perfect. Like honestly, not really many notes to go on with this segment other than I love Gunther. Like this is why I always push the Gunther agenda, because he knows the business. He is that damn good at what he does, and this was full proof of that, because all he needed to do was exactly what he said. I made John Cena give up, but he didn't just stop there. He the fact that he added this next part, that while he was tapping out, like when he gave up, he tapped out like a little bitch. He had no reason to add that little part, but Gunther, again, being the man he is, being having the mind that he has of knowing the business and knowing just exactly what to say to get that heat. Oh, it was great. It was glorious. And him just basking in it was everything that was needed. And of course, like, and it's not just the audience that was booing him. He goes into the back. There's Alpha Academy just giving him the stink eye. There's freaking Adam Pierce. It's just like, oh, you want to gloat like all this? You want to be this kind of asshole? Guess what? You're done for the night. Get the hell out of here. And then the piece de resistance. You have AJ Styles just chilling at Gunther's car, like the one of John Cena's biggest, if not John Cena's biggest rival, in especially in the latter part of his career, just staring Gunther down, and Gunther teasing him with the whole "you can't see me" thing. Like, oh my god, everything about this segment, this opening segment, was done to perfection. And especially having somebody like AJ being the one to like stare down Gunther before he left. I thought that was a really nice touch. Just having somebody that's gone to war with Cena, with who had like this whole big thing of beat up John Cena back in the day and all that. Like somebody that really was a big part of Cena's career, being the one to like be the final person to like stare down Gunther tonight. It was great. It was great. It was a great tease to there. Now, whether or not Gunther's the one to retire AJ, that remains to be seen. I don't know how long AJ plans to stay or how long his retirement run's gonna be. Um, yeah, I'm just excited. But again, no notes for this. This was just pure. This was exactly what it needed to be. Exactly what it needed to be. But Drop, what do you think of this?
I would have to agree with you. I mean, this is everything I wanted to open up the show. Like, Gunther did what he needed to do when he came out there. He needed to embrace the hate. You remember when Kane said that all those years ago to John Cena?
Mm-hmm.
He needs to embrace the hate, and that's exactly what he did. He embraced all of it. He took it in. He was even gloating about it on social media when I saw like a video that he posted on his Instagram just showing the highlights over the weekend. Like, that's the kind of thing that you need to do if you really want to like if you really want to put yourself out there, because what
Mm-hmm.
Gunther did right now, he became this monster heel where everybody is going to hate, and then that makes the next person to take him down, be like the ultimate hero in a sense, where it's like you just took out this guy after all of this destruction that he caused, all of these hearts that he broke when John Cena retired that weekend and he made him tap out. And he didn't really need to do much. This is what he needed to do. Like, if I was in his position, I probably would have gone out there and did the same thing. I would brag about what
Mm-hmm.
I did. I would probably, have a response towards the fans now, which I called it out earlier when I was talking to you, where I was like, I already know for a fact that these fans are going to come onto the show and they're going to go in the crowd and they're going to chant, "You tapped out, you tapped out." He obviously didn't word it the way that I said to you earlier, but he has an easy response to that now where it's like, oh, okay, so you're saying to me that I tapped out. But what about the guy after all these years who always said never give up, and then he tapped him out himself? This is the guy you look up to? Like, how do you feel about him now? Like, he obviously didn't say that word to
Mm-hmm.
word, but still, in a sense, I mean, it's true. So it's like you got to find some new ammunition for the guy, because now he has a
Yeah.
perfect response to just throw at you. And I just
Yep.
like just hearing like all the "you suck" chants, not letting him speak and everything. Like, this is the kind of energy that you need. And I also like the thing that we saw where the camera was following him. We went in the back. We saw the
Mm-hmm.
Alpha Academy. We saw R-Truth. And probably the thing that hit me the most was AJ Styles. He didn't have to respond back because that's how the moment hit harder, where he just gave him that look. Gunther went in his car. He drove away. And yeah, I definitely feel like in the near future, probably not now, that might be a program that we dive into. And like you said before, we don't know for sure if that's going to be the guy to retire AJ Styles. But if he wants to keep this rhythm going right now, like this beat that he started with Goldberg to John Cena, he could easily carry that all the way to AJ Styles now if he really wants
Mm-hmm.
to. Like, I'm not trying to take Randy Orton's moniker away from him, but in a way, it's kind of like
But
but he's like the modern like legend killer in a way, but in his
yeah.
own version of it. Obviously, not bar to bar with what Randy Orton was doing, but it's like, you're taking out all these guys that we love, like John Cena and potentially an AJ
Mm-hmm.
Styles, when it comes to what they're gonna do with that. And that's always a program in general, even outside of this, I always figured they would tap into, because they're on the same show. Why waste the opportunity there when
Mm-hmm.
you have both of those guys a part of the same show? But I would really like that. Like, I know for sure that Gunther's going to have a big 2026. That's something that
Oh
I can
yeah.
sense, that he's going to have a big 2026, because you don't just give anybody John Cena to retire. Like, you obviously give it to a
Yeah.
specific person because you want that person to use that momentum that they gained from that match to carry on to help build their career even more, because he's always going to be the guy, like he said, that's going to be known to retire John Cena. Whenever you look at John Cena's last match, you're always going to think of Gunther. He made
Hmm.
history right there just by being the guy responsible for that. So it's like, and I'm just gonna throw this out here because we didn't really cover it on Saturday. We're obviously not gonna cover the show because this is Monday Night Raw. But it's like, I understand the whole message with why Cena did what he did there, because it's very
Yeah.
poetic in a way. It's him accepting everything that he did over the years. I mean, they even used it in the video package before he tapped out, where he's just looking back at his career. He's accepted that, you know what? I'm a 17-time champion. I accomplished all these different kinds of things. The future is in good hands. Obviously, they're building all these key players from NXT. You know, you got Cody Rhodes, which is, you know, pretty much the face that they're building as of this moment with WWE. So it's like, that's just him coming to peace. It's almost like with Tony Stark towards the end of Endgame, where Pepper's like, it's okay, you can rest now. It's kind of similar to that in a sense, where it's like, John, it's okay.
Hmm.
Retire, enjoy the rest of your life, you know, do what you need to do and everything. Hang up the jorts. And I personally didn't have any issues with that. I thought it made sense. Like
Yeah.
to me, honestly, looking back at it, I personally feel like Gunther kind of earned a lot more by making him tap out than John just passing out. Because John just
Hmm.
passing out would be like, okay, you know, he still won the match, but the guy that never gives up, you know, he didn't really give up. He just passed out. But the fact that he tapped out, it's kind of like you earned extra brownie points that way, if that makes any sense. So
Yeah.
I personally didn't have any issues with it at all.
No. And it's like, okay, because I just need to get this out there because again, I was in the arena that night, and it's like, okay, I get it. We were all angry because I'm not gonna lie, there was a moment in me that felt like, okay, maybe Cena could pull this off. Maybe he can, you know, rise above. There was a part of me, even though, my mind was just like, no, this is Gunther's match to win here, and then Cena taps out, and yeah, people were upset. Obviously so. You're in the moment, you want the good guy to win, but unfortunately the bad guy wins here. So it's like, okay, I get the upset part in the moment. Fine, cool, whatever. But after you sleep on it, after you start, using your brain that you were born with, and you start thinking about it, you're like, okay, this makes all the sense. And especially how it turned out, how it was framed, how it was structured. Again, the smile from John before he tapped, and WWE even spoon fed it to you tonight with their opening package, being like, "This is what happened if you didn't understand it the first time." It's like, okay, great, thank you. So, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be nice about this. If you're still going to sit there and say Gunther should not have won and Gunther was the wrong opponent for Cena's final match, if you're going to sit there and still say that after what happened tonight, you're stupid. You are legitimately stupid. Like I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like you're just being blind. Like it's just blind hate at that point. And I also feel like I also feel this because I thought about this today too. I feel like a lot of people are more mad. They're taking everything out on Gunther because of how this retirement run went. A report came out earlier today. It was from Bleacher Report, actually, where they graded John Cena's retirement run and gave it an F, which, fine. You had issues. A lot of people had issues with his retirement run. I get that. I understand that. The latter half of this retirement run, like from SummerSlam onward, was really good stuff. Really great stuff from promo work, in ring work, all that stuff. Before all that, this was a big old stinky pile of poo, like to keep it light. Um, so it's like I get that, I understand that, but I feel like we're all taking that energy out on Gunther and the booking of this match rather than looking at the match for what it is. And what that match was Cena finally just not giving up, but being like, okay, the future is here. I've done everything I can. I'm gonna give it to him. I'm just gonna. I've given it my all. I could pass out. That could be a thing, but instead he decided to relish in it. He decided to be like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna tap. I'm gonna tap. And you have many people defending this as well. You have people like Shayna Baszler being on Twitter, being like, "I'm actually gonna make a video explaining why this was a good thing and how even she, who has been in like MMA and all that, literally stating tapping out does not mean giving up." I don't know how much you have to get it bashed into your head that John Cena did not really give up. He was just like, he was fine with it and all that. And I don't know. I got shades of, and this goes to like Dragon Ball, like OG Dragon Ball. For some of you people who didn't watch OG Dragon Ball, go watch OG Dragon Ball. 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament. There's Jackie Chun, who's Master Roshi in disguise, taking on Tien Shinhan. And there's a part like Master Roshi could have defeated Tien. He really could have if he, pulled out more stops and all that. But Tien had an answer for everything he threw at him. Almost very similar to what was happening Saturday with John versus Gunther. And what ends up happening is Jackie Chun / Master Roshi decides to throw the match. He decides to jump out of the ring, get the ring out, give Tien the win. And Tien's beside himself. He's just like, why'd you do this? Like, granted, like, it's kind of a different situation as well, but it's also almost in the same realm of what John was trying to do. Because John, again, he's a businessman. He's somebody that was here for the business, was always for the business. And I know there was one person on Twitter earlier who gave the comment of, oh, going out on your back is dumb. That's an old school mentality of it. Cool. But here's the thing. Here's the thing you got to think of when somebody's going out like that or retiring, all that. Why should they win, especially against a talent who's going to be there longer? Like, what does that do for the talent who face them? It does them nothing. You get an Austin Theory kind of thing when he beat John at WrestleMania that time. Like, you get that kind of instance where it's just like, okay, well, they don't do anything to capitalize on that win. They just leave him alone until tonight, which we'll get to here in a second. But it's just one of those instances where it's just like, I'm giving back to I'm leaving this place better than what it was. And it's a level of trust where it's just like, I trust that WWE and this business is gonna far exceed me. Because even John in interviews been like, yeah, people are gonna forget about me. It's like, well, no, we're not gonna forget about you. I mean, people still remember Hulk Hogan, and I mean, he's a piece of shit person. Like,
Yeah.
people still remember at least the good messages of Hogan back in his day. But I don't know, man. It's just, there's been just so many like thought pieces and so many just like poo just being thrown out on social media and all that. I'm just like, guys, just take a step back and just look at it and just think. And you can kind of tell too. You can tell the people who have an imagination still in their growing age and those who are just so cynical and just so negative about a lot of things. Like the fact, and this is no slight to anybody else or the guy I'm about to mention, but the fact you have JD of all people, like JD from New York, the fact you have JD who, he's very critical on things from WWE and AEW and all that. The fact you have him defending this shit, like the fact you have him and Bubba Ray Dudley pulling Star Wars references out their asses to defend this, like that. I don't know. There's just a level of understanding that I feel like a lot of people just aren't getting. And I don't know. It can go into a whole spiel about media literacy, blah, 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 all that. I don't know. Just it wasn't a bad choice. And tonight proved that with what happened with Gunther. Because again, he didn't have to go out there to say a lot of words. Didn't have to be out there and be like, oh, look at me, I'm Gunther, blah, 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 going like this 10-minute spiel and all that. No, just a simple 2 sentences. I made John tap, and which is a fact. And then just to dig it into everybody else, he tapped like a bitch. Like that is just immense heel heat. And it's so refreshing to have such a super villain in WWE again. Because like a lot, I'm sorry, I'm going on this rant, this tangent right now because like I've been thinking
go
of all
for
this
it.
for like the past few days. It's
Yeah.
like because WWE, a lot of WWE heels are the same thing over and over again. It's like, oh, the company screwed me over. Oh, this person screwed me over. Oh, I'm part of this group and we're gonna run Monday Night Raw. Blah 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 blah. It's all like the same heel shit. It's nothing like what Gunther is. Gunther is that super villain. He literally there is video footage, which I'm pretty sure I was standing behind that kid and his family to get into the arena. That video footage of Gunther yelling at that kid. It's things like that. Like that kid was pissed at him.
Yeah.
And Gunther's just like, oh, well, fine, whatever. But like just the way Gunther was tonight, just like rubbing it in everybody's faces, the shit-eating grin on his face, him just basking in it, like, oh yeah, run it back. Oh yeah, I'll run it back. Yeah, just like God, it was so good.
Yeah, the run back we actually want to see on the show. And it's like another thing that I noticed as well that I really did like over the weekend is like after that show, there was footage online and I saw JD post it, but before he posted, I also saw like another person post it online too, where you literally had people following Gunther when he was leaving the show to go home and doing what he needs to do, just expressing their hatred right there. And if you think about it even deeper, regardless if it was Gunther or somebody else, that person is going to get boos because they're going up against John Cena at the end of the day for his final match. So even if it was a Carmelo Hayes, as much as I talked about it on this show, and I'm not going to, paint a different picture like I didn't say it, where I was like, it would have been cool. You would really want someone that's already a heel that would fit that glove a lot better to absorb all of that hate and use that as their new energy source. And there's no other person perfect to do that for Gunther. I should say, because he did exactly that. That's what needed to happen. And he took it very well. He's relishing in it, like you said, and that's kind of something that you need if you really want someone to be like this ultimate threat for like all these upcoming guys in NXT. Like, what is what's Trick gonna do? Obviously, he's a heel now, but what's Trick gonna do when he comes across this guy in the future? What is Ricky Saints gonna do when he comes across this guy in the future? What is Javon Evans gonna do when he comes against this guy again in the future? You heard he did it before, but again, like this new Javon Evans that we see like years from now, and all these other guys coming up. Like, what are they gonna do against this guy?
Gonna do?
Exactly. What's Oba gonna do? What's like, and I even saw a lot of people saying online, it's like, dude, we've been like, theory crafting about like a Cody and Punk thing at Mania if, Punk loses the belt beforehand, which, hey, I'm all for that match. I'm not saying I don't want it, but it's like even taking all this ammunition that Gunther has now and you pin him against like the ultimate babyface in the company right now, like good versus evil. I mean, that would fit like a glove if you wanted to run that at Mania and actually give them a proper feud this time outside of like the King, what was it? The Crown Jewel Championship thing that they did like a year ago or so.
Yeah.
So it's like, even stuff like that I would eat up because it makes a lot of sense. You really want to take advantage of what you did with Gunther in this situation, because I even saw a lot of people online even admit like, yeah, I mean, if you watch the show tonight and you say that Gunther's like the wrong choice, I mean, I don't know what to say, because that response, that was like that was the perfect way to really go out there and give an answer to the crowd. Because like I said, that was the one thing on this show on the very top of it that I was looking forward to the most. And now it gets me excited to see, okay, what happens next week? Or do we get to the building grounds of like what Gunther's next objective is going to be? Is he going to announce that he's in the Royal Rumble? Now he wants to go after championship gold, whatever the case may be. Like, it just gets me super invested in the character. Not saying I wasn't before, but it gets me super invested in the character just because of where he is now after retiring John Cena. And John Cena probably wanted it too as well, because he's always about giving back to people. He personally obviously already knew who the winner of this tournament was going to be before it even started, but he probably wanted to help this guy. A lot of people this is Undertaker's guy. He said it numerous times on his podcast. Yeah. I don't blame him. He's a great wrestler. He's doing very good with his promo work, with the way that he interacts with the crowd and really gets under their skin. And he's just somebody that you want to be like that wall that you can't break down. And only a few people can say that, like a Punk or, Cody Rhodes, people around there that were actually Bron Breakker back in NXT days that could really say that they were able to beat Gunther. There's not that many people that really, Ilya Dragunov's another one. There's not that many people that really beat him. And it's good to have that as well, especially if you're trying to just add more and more stock to this guy.
Yeah. Like, and again, kind of like what you were saying, it would have been great to have Carmelo Hayes as that final opponent. It would have been great to have LA Knight as that final opponent. But like you had said, whoever was going to be facing John was going to be a heel. No matter who they were on the card.
Yeah.
And to have somebody like Gunther to absorb that, and not only absorb it, but take it in and utilize it. Like now comes the most important part. What do we do beyond this? Like, is Gunther going to claim to be in the Royal Rumble? What is he going to be doing at Mania? A lot of people are also speculating him retiring Brock, because apparently that rumor is going around about the SummerSlam next year being Brock's like final match or whatever. What's going to happen with AJ? Now, I mean, there are caveats with that too. It's just like, okay, well, let's not feed every retiring star to Gunther. I get that argument too, but it's like, if we at least give a good program for AJ against Gunther, fine. If it's his retirement one, fine. Whatever. That's fine. With the Brock one, I know Gunther's wanted to face Brock, so if you feed him Brock, I'm sure he's gonna feast for ages. So it just all depends on what we do beyond this now, because tonight was a really good start to it all. Just how do we move forward going from here? I think I've said all my spiel until Thursday's little award show thing, because there's plenty to say about John Cena's retirement tour too, because again, I feel like that's where a lot of the negativity is coming from, just like how lackluster that was to a point. And just because I feel like if he had a better retirement run and it still ended this way, I feel like it would have been a little bit more palatable for a lot of people. But again, I liked it. So if you didn't, that's fine. But whatever your reasoning is, hopefully it's a good one. Because if it's not, sorry about your bad luck. You might want to go back to kindergarten. But let's move on now to how the rest of the show was. Because the other thing that was very exciting here was our world heavyweight title picture, and this also kind of includes the Vision talk as well, because CM Punk's back. We have a match with Logan Paul against Rey Mysterio, and we got the reveal of the masked man being, drum roll please, Austin Theory, a nearly bald Austin Theory, mind you. So cool, he's now serious, or is, I guess, something that we're coining now in the Discord. I guess he's the Daniel Garcia of WWE, but if you know, you know. As soon as you said Daniel Garcia, I'm just like, oh my God, Austin Theory kind of is. He kind of is. Oh man.
You might as well talk about him first before we get into the Punk and Bron stuff, I guess.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna come out and ask, How do you feel about like the reveal now? Because like a lot of people were speculating, like, oh, it's Austin Theory. There was also the reports, like immediately, like after Survivor Series was done, Fightful Selects just like, we know who the masked person is. Stay tuned and subscribe to us. It's just like, can we just have time to speculate? But okay, fine, whatever. Tell us it's Austin Theory. Oh, look, it's Austin Theory. Cool, great. Weeks later, oh, cool, it's Austin Theory. Great. How do you feel about it? Because I know there were some concerns with Austin Theory, I think, but I don't know. I'm fine with it. It seems he's a little bit more focused, which is good. But
Mhm.
again, how we go beyond this is going to be the telling point. But what do you think about it first?
I'm honestly hoping that they have a plan. And I say that very lightly because I don't have as much faith in the company when it comes to
Hmm.
certain things. Because you can always introduce something and it could be a good thing. We would get proper execution with it. But then sometimes it just sits there and it's like spoiled milk. You just pour it down the drain, you get rid of the container and everything, and you go to the store and you get the next one. But I guess that's kind of like the best way to really describe like certain
No,
things
yeah.
that they do nowadays. It's like you got the milk in there, it has an expiration date, it only lasts so long, so you're able to use it to like either get a cup of it or use it or whatever food you're trying to make or whatever. But it's like I'm really hoping that they have like some sort of plan with this because I see a lot of potential in Austin Theory when it comes
Hmm?
to his wrestling ability, when it comes to where he could go with his promo work because he's still young, he has a long way to go. He definitely has the look as well. And I just want to see him take like a more serious role, which is like why I brought up before in the past on our shows when it came to the whole Grayson Waller thing that he was doing, where I was like, dude, the crowd's behind him, do something. We can't keep going back and forth with this Grayson Waller thing. Like, obviously, give us something
Hmm.
else to work with. You could have easily turned him to a babyface. Maybe that could have been a factor. Obviously, that's past tense now. But
Hmm.
I want to know exactly what is he going to add to this group. Does he personally want to be involved, or is he just one of those people where he's just doing things because he wants to do it and he doesn't really give a shit about anybody else? But obviously, he's doing it for a reason because whenever the vision is involved in something, he helps them. So I want to know what his mission statement is because one thing that we did learn about the vision is that there's always a mission statement when it comes to a lot of people
Hmm.
that's involved in the group. So once we see him next week, which I assume you got to give him a microphone at this point, I want to know exactly like what he's going to say. What is his response to all of this is happening?
Yeah.
Because it's always the execution that matters at the end. And then if you nail it properly and you get the fans invested, that's where things can take off. And then we could
Hmm.
see this person grow into a bigger star. I just want to make sure that there's some sort of plan here, not just introducing something, it sits on the shelf, and then we just move on, forget about it. We focus on whatever else is going on. That's my main
Yeah.
concern here. At the very least, I want to see the guy grab a microphone and talk. So then maybe from there we could start building things. And what I mean by that is like us to get like some sort of gripe on what's going on here. But until then, I mean, I just gotta not necessarily wait and see, but I just need to hear from the man first.
Yeah. I think for me, I see the body language from Austin Theory tonight. First of all, shaved head, so there's that little added change to his demeanor and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he just seemed more focused because he didn't really like after he took the mask off, he was just staring daggers into CM Punk and just staring him down the whole
Yeah.
time. So, I mean, this kind of goes into speculation territory. I could see it being a thing where he's trying to get himself in the vision, knowing full well, where he was on the card. with everything going on with Grayson Waller, being abandoned by Grayson Waller, and be like, all right, you're abandoning me, fine. I'm just gonna go forge my own path then. And even though it's not by myself, and even though it's not a face, I'm gonna join this group because they're gonna help me level up. And I think that's where we're at right now with Austin Theory. Because I know I get it. A lot of people, myself included, would have loved the face turn against Grayson Waller, but I feel like with him joining the Vision, like almost forcing himself into the Vision, it's going to give him the leveling up he needs in order to really be a more credible baby face, because now we're going to get just a little bit more sympathy with him, where like with the stuff with Austin Theory, it felt not Austin Theory with the stuff with like Grayson Waller, it felt more like because there was sympathy for him there, but it was more of like a almost a pitying kind of sympathy. Whereas if he was with the Vision and he's like being able to show out a little bit more and actually like be a little bit more serious and like actually like show his in ring, because he's really good in the ring, and he is pretty good on the mic. It's just, you got to give the boy a shot and all that. But I feel like this is going to be part of his shot, like being part of this group that is like a main event picture and all that, that this group that is hell bent on building the future, whether that future is Austin Theory or it actually is just Braun Breaker. We'll have to wait and see when it comes to that, whenever the group starts to implode and everything. But yeah, I feel like this is more of just him just leveling up a little bit and getting a little bit more sympathy towards him. But now we're getting the crowd to be more behind him in the in-ring sense, and a little bit more with his character too, because like now we're getting a little bit more layers into his character. Because yeah, again, you could have just easily done the face turn against Grayson Waller and he would just been in the mid card doing mid card things and being the cookie cutter baby face that a lot of WWE baby faces are. But like here, there's going to be an extra layer to it, him like forcing himself onto this group, because again, like he didn't like immediately go back down to the ring to join everybody in a celebration. He stood there on those steps staring down CM Punk the whole time. So it could be a thing where like maybe he's going after Punk because of the whole Seth connection. Because I mean, if we can recall back like during 2020 time, I think it was 2020. Yeah, it was like 2020, maybe 2019
Somewhere
time, but
around there,
it was
yeah.
when yeah, it was like when Seth was doing the whole
Messiah.
Messiah kind of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. When he had like Buddy Murphy and Austin Theory with him. And so Austin Theory was part of that group, but then he just kind of went back to NXT for a bit. So there's at least still a connection there where he might be targeting CM Punk specifically. And I mean, joining the Vision just might be a little bit of a benefit to it. So I don't know. I'm kind of also in the let's see where things go here. Would like to hear from Austin Theory next week, but I mean, I am all for it because I do like the guy. I think he's really good in the ring. I think he's a good talent to have. And I mean, as of now, I do kind of see him as the fall guy for the Vision, because again, they kind of need a fall guy. Which I mean, it kind of seems backwards from what I was just saying. But again, that's kind of how you can start building some of the sympathy for him, um, and just kind of building him up again, and again, just leveling up again, getting him in the grind and all that. So yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Um, Now where this leads for like the title match in a couple weeks, I mean, who's to say really? Because Punk did tell Braun Breaker to bring everybody you can, which yeah, Punk responded in very colorful fashion tonight to what Braun Breaker's been saying the past few weeks. Because so again, Punk is back. He comes to the ring. He's all pissy as he usually is, and oh boy, some of the things he was saying, like, you want 2011 Punk? Well, you can barely handle 2025 Punk. You needed help with all that. Like the main crux with all of CM Punk's promo here was that Braun Breaker needs the help. He needs it. He desires it because he couldn't be Punk without any help. So all right, fine. Bring all your forces. Bring your dumbass dad and his even stupider uncle and all that. Bring the Vision. Bring Paul Heyman. Like he's begging him to bring everybody because he knows Braun's not going to come out there by himself. Like he knows that the Vision or anybody's going to be helping him win that title. So Punk's asking for it. Braun might deliver, or Braun might grow a pair and be like, no, I'm going to do this by myself. I'm going to prove him wrong. I'm going to beat him within an inch of his life. But yeah, this was a really good promo from CM Punk. Probably one of his more, probably since like the Drew days, I guess, which is funny to say considering that was like a little over a year from now. But yeah, this is probably one of the more like almost visceral promos from CM Punk. Even some of the set stuff like didn't feel this like didn't really have this bite to it. I mean, literally Punk said he was going to piss and this is quoting Punk too, that next time that Braun talked about his wife, he's going to piss in his single digit brain. Like single digit IQ brain. Like who thinks of that other than a deranged guy? Like what? Okay, cool. But yeah, this promo was amazing. Just capped off too with like the whole Steiner math thing. Being like, yeah, GTS equals 1, 2, 3. Even Steiner math knows that's a thing. So I don't know. A fantastic promo, I thought, from Punk responding to what Braun Breaker's been saying the past few weeks. Drop, what do you think of this promo?
I really liked how Punk expressed himself here because I agree with what he said in this promo. If WWE is trying to build Braun as one of the new flag bearers for their company when it comes to him getting involved with all of these main event talent and headlining WrestleMania and just having all these key moments in his career, he really needs to step up on January 5th, face Punk by himself. Because I know for sure whenever we do these shows, me and you especially always say that we want the man to prove they're the man without their friends tagging along. Because once you do that, you're set. People are like, okay, you know, this guy's tough. He doesn't need his friends to back him up. Because it's not like this is some random guy that he's facing on January 5th. This is CM Punk. He's one of the biggest wrestlers in the world. Not just WWE, but just in general. He's a big name in the company, just like the guy that retired this weekend. So it's like, if you're going up against somebody like that, that's a big test. That's a test that you study your ass for, because you're starting off the year going up against that guy. You want to prove him wrong. You want to take everything that he said right here, throw it back at him, and just punch him straight across the face and knock him out. That's the kind of presentation you want to give to yourself so the audience can get behind you and understand who Bron Breakker is. So I'm really hoping and praying he does this himself, because I look at him and I can see him being a guy that can do things on his own. And when the time calls for, if they want to jump people, whatever, that's fine. But this is about him. This isn't about Logan Paul. This isn't about Bronson Reed. This isn't about Austin Theory. This is about Bron Breakker. And I'll say this up front. I'm not going to be a fan of the finish of the match if they go down this route. If they have Austin Theory capitalize here and help him win. I don't want no help here. This is him proving, and I can see him having some sort of backstage segment in the near future where he's like, you know what, Paul, I appreciate what you're saying and everything, but I got to do this on my own. I would gain a lot of respect for him. Not saying I don't have respect for him now, but I would gain a lot of respect from him in terms of the story that they're telling if they go down a route like that. Because, I mean, you take this version of Punk that was very vicious tonight, literally saying that he's going to piss in your skull. Like, things along the lines of that, just ripping your eyes out and doing all that stuff, because Punk can get very vicious. He's known as one of the top mic workers in the company for a reason, because he can get really nasty. Go look up CM Punk promos over the years. He gets very nasty. It's very, very difficult to go one-on-one with the guy. Like when it comes to him and John Cena, those are two guys you not want to be in a promo battle with. You do not want to be in a promo battle with them. So it's like, prove him wrong.
I'm good.
Insert yourself in the place that you need to be. That's all I'm saying. If they want to write that story to build Bron Breakker where he needs to be, that's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. And and if there's any, like I said, if there's any sort of like help here, I'm not going to be a fan of it. Like I'll come out. Well, I'm not going to be there because obviously I'll be on vacation. But I'll come out on social media and I'll be like, I'm not a fan of this. I'm sorry. I don't like if he wins the title with help. I'll be honest. I'm not going to like it. Sure, he has it. I'm not going to like it. I'm sorry, because you're telling me right now that doesn't need to happen because of how Punk is talking to him. Punk is pointing out his weaknesses. And I'm sorry, he did the same thing tonight. When his boys came out to help Logan Paul in this match, he came out and he did all of this. And then that's when he had Punk come out, and obviously we saw how that escalated. So it's like, you're kind of proving Punk right. Your boys are always with you every single moment. You don't need your boys helping Logan Paul against a Rey Mysterio match. I know why they did it, but still, you gotta like listen to what he's saying and try to present yourself in a way that you want to be presented, because this is how the audience is going to look at you 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 4 years from now. This is something that's going to help build your legacy as a wrestler. Don't worry about me, Watkins, or Vash on this show. When it comes to the casual audience watching these programs, they give you the responses when we come to the crowd. We're just critiquing the show, but these are the people that you're going out there to perform for. I want them to take you seriously. I don't want them to look at you where it's like, oh, it's just a guy that needs help to win. Like, no, but Bron Breakker doesn't strike me as that kind of person. I look at the guy, doesn't strike me at that. It's like Oba Femi. Would you imagine Oba Femi on the main roster? I need some backup. I need to win this title. Look at the man. Does that man need help? I mean, clearly he didn't, because look how he retaliated towards Drew McIntyre this weekend. He gave that man a choke slam. So it's like, there's certain people that have that look that don't need that help. He's one of those guys.
Yeah, like he doesn't need the help. I could see it happening just because it's WWE, and you know, the division's gonna interfere, blah blah blah. Like I could just see it happening. With me, it would be about the execution, but I wouldn't really be a fan of it either. Like I would tolerate it, I guess, but like at the same time, I'm just like, you could have just done this by yourself. You're freaking, you're the Odin. you're my Odin of WWE. You didn't need to do it with any help. You could have just done your two sword style and scarred Kaido. That's all you needed to do. And don't worry, Drops, you'll know what that means in the future later on down the road. But yeah, just it would be a very interesting night if that happened. That conversation, I mean, we'll have it, you know, the night of, but yeah, I'm gonna be very curious how that happens, because I'm on the boat that they need to put that title right on him. Like he held that thing again tonight. I'm just like, man, people want to say the Mona Lisa is like the perfect picture. Yeah, Bron Breakker holding on to that world heavyweight title is the perfect picture. That is a title made for him. Like, put it on him, have him hold it for the longest of times, because it's something that just works for him, and he needs that title. Like it's almost very synonymous with the WWE title currently with Cody Rhodes. Like it's very hard to see him without that title. The old spinner belt of John Cena's, very hard to see anybody else holding that, even though, multiple people have, and it's looked very awkward as hell looking at you, Triple H, holding that title. Like
Yeah.
that, like it worked perfectly for John, and it worked good for CM Punk as well, but mainly John, it worked perfectly. The new US title worked great when Bobby Lashley introduced it. It was perfect around his waist. It looked so good. That's what that world title looks like on Braun Breaker, and they would be fools not to belt him up on that first Raw of the year. Like they would be absolute fools, and I will get Excalibur out here to call them fools as well. Oh man. But yeah, this promo from Punk was really good. I'm glad nobody interrupted him too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm glad it was just him going out there saying his shit and just leaving after that. Now, granted, he did tell Ray he would have his back, which fair play on him, but
Yeah.
I am glad that again nobody interfered, which means Braun Breaker listened to Paul Heyman, because we did have a little bit of a backstage segment where like Braun Breaker was talking to the boys. He was like, "Hey, CM Punk's here. We need to destroy him and all that, blah blah blah." But Paul Heyman did pull him aside and was just like, "Hey, don't do that, because if you do, you're not going to have your title match and you're not going to be crowned world heavyweight champion if you destroy Punk. Like, if you're going to injure him or like make him soft, fine. Just don't actually destroy him. Like, he needs to be intact for January." I like that little bit, because again, it kind of shows like the dynamic that Paul and Braun Breaker are having right now, where like Paul's still trying to rein him in a little bit to make sure he doesn't like get overzealous and do exactly what he wants to do, and then kind of screw himself out of these opportunities and all that. But any thoughts on this backstage segment, especially with Pierce later on being like, "Yeah, I need to know who the masked man is tonight," which, I mean, that just told us we were going to find out tonight. All right, cool, neat. But any takeaways from this backstage segment?
I'm glad that, Paul actually said that to him, because it's like, dude, you got your opportunity in a couple weeks. I really wouldn't worry about it right
Yeah.
now, because it's like we
Yeah.
just talked about before. Both of them need to go in at full strength, and one of them needs to come out with the belt. Obviously, Braun Breaker, me and you both said, I'm pretty sure Vash said this as well, that he should be the one to walk out with that belt. So it's like, there's no need to like weaken him now, because you just keep proving Punk right. So it's like, you got to do the best you possibly can to prove him wrong. So just wait for that moment. Do what you need to do there. Obviously, stick up for your family, because obviously they're going to be at the crowd during that event and everything. Whatever Punk said about them, fight towards what he said, prove them wrong, all that stuff. But, that's why it's good to have Paul there, because normally you would think, if you look at that, oh, they're the heels, they're going to go out and do it because that's a heel thing to do. But obviously, since Paul's been in the game for a long time, he knows from right and wrong. So I'm glad that he said that to him, because he didn't really need to happen tonight. Were you just going to have him?
It didn't.
It's like he was literally like beaten up not that long ago. You want to do the same thing again? I mean, come on now.
Yeah. And again, it's just like, there's a difference between, beating him up and softening him up a little bit and outright almost murdering the guy, which is what Braun wanted to do. Like, if he had it his way, he would have like busted out the Buster Sword or whatever and like sliced CM Punk in half or whatever. So yeah, again, it's a good thing that Paul not only was able to rein Braun in, but it's also a good character moment for Braun, because he took that advice to heart and he actually listened to Paul Heyman. He was just like, "Okay, yeah, I'll spear him at the end of the night. There you go. There's your lot," and all that. Like, he at least sent the message to Punk, which
that's
is
fine.
good. Like, it at least shows that Braun is learning from all of this.
Yeah. That's what he needs. That's why it's good to have Paul Heyman there for guidance.
Yep, exactly. But all of this was leading to our main event match, which was Logan Paul Heyman took on Rey Mysterio tonight in the main event. I mean, the match was good. I'll say that. You know, like Logan Paul, despite everyone hating him and all that, he is a good worker in the ring, and I think him and Ray did put on a really good match. This match basically being, hey, when is the Vision going to come out to interfere? Which
Pretty
they
much,
did
yeah.
try to, but Punk was there with a steel chair to push him back and all that. And of course, the brass knuckles get involved. So does the masked man, all leading to Logan Paul winning. Like interference with Logan Paul matches, that's just par for the course. It's really dependent on, okay, who's interfering for Logan Paul.
Yeah.
God, I don't know why I keep wanting to call him Paul Heyman, but that's because Paul Heyman was out there. Like Paul
Yeah.
Heyman went to the top rope and hit that super frog splash or whatever they're trying to call it now for the win. Like, all right, great. I didn't know a walrus could jump that high, but all right, thank you for your thank you for your service, Paul Heyman. But yeah, I mean, I thought the match was fine. I know you had said like there was like a bit of an awkward feeling to it, which I could kind of get. Like that, this did feel like, okay, this is really just a match to have here for whatever the ending segment or
Yeah.
ending moment's going to be. So I could feel that. But again, I thought with what they did, what was really good in the match.
Yeah, because mainly to just elaborate on that, just a little
Yeah.
bit. Like when I saw it, it was like the match closing the show. It just felt awkward because that's not something I would picture to close out the show. That's something that I would
Hmm.
either see like maybe in the I don't know. It just doesn't seem something like it honestly feels like something that would happen in the middle of the show, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And I kind
Which
of
is.
felt like they could have like maybe had done something with Bron Breakker to close out the show since he is the main focus. That would have made a
Mhm.
lot more sense. And then Logan Paul has his match with Rey Mysterio like maybe in like the middle hour or like I guess the 9 o'clock hour of the show. It just
Yeah.
didn't strike me as something where it's like, oh yeah, it needs to close the show and everything. Cause like, okay, you were button heads in a promo segment and now you guys have a match. That just seems like something that happens midway and then you just give,
Hmm.
Braun some room. I mean, in all honesty, hey, I would have loved to see like Braun Breaker and CM Punk, just go at each other and everything, but it made sense why CM Punk was out there, grabbing the mic, speaking what he needed to speak and everything because he needed to respond to what Braun Breaker said the previous week and everything. So it's like,
Hmm.
I don't know. It just didn't strike me as a main event. Is basically what I'm trying to say. Like I understand Rey Mysterio's status and everything, but when I think of a show that would close out a Monday Night Raw, outside of what happened tonight with us just waiting for the Vision, it's just not something I would really call a main event, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I feel you there. Like this had mid cards screaming everywhere. Like it should have been more like probably in the second hour, but again, considering what the angle was after the match, I could see why they made this the main event. But again,
Yeah.
just it's just making a main event just for the final segment, which is something that WWE loves to structure their shows around. But any other thoughts on like the Vision, this match that we had with Logan Paul and Rey Mysterio, CM Punk? Any last words before we move on to our mid card stories?
The only other thing I have to say is nice mustache, Rey Mysterio. I mean, that's
Yeah,
all I got.
yeah, the thing looked pretty good. Uh, I had a thought with Rey Mysterio. All of his like renders, so they had the one render for before the match and all that, with him just like having his arms up and all that and smiling, but like the contacts he uses, where it's like the whole like white and then like just the beady black eyes. I don't know. His renders are kind of creepy. Like
They really are.
next time, everybody go look at a Rey Mysterio render from like an official WWE thing, and tell me you don't get like nightmares from that. Because, whoo boy, they it's kind of creepy. Oh man, but what isn't creepy is the New Day, because they are a bunch of heels, but they're not creepy. They're just bad boys and all that, and they're taking on the Usos, who have finally come together as a tag team officially. Now, this wasn't an official like number one contenders match, but they were kind of treating it as such because Raw's tag team division is very bare bones
Mm.
and they don't like to use any of their tag teams on Raw. So, okay, cool, neat, awesome. Let's have the New Day versus the Usos, which they do put on really good matches. And I mean, this one's no different. I mean, this one was a pretty good match. You had the New Day picking up the early advantage after a bit of a stalemate with Jimmy and all that. I do like the opening segment of this match where you had like Jimmy and Kofi kind of going back and forth with a few things, and especially them dodging each other's moves. So like you had Kofi dodge the super kick and then immediately go for trouble in paradise, and like Jimmy Uso backing up, and you have like this stare down between the two. I thought that was a really cool moment, really cool sequence right there. But yeah, the New Day mainly on top here. This is where we start getting like that cookie cutter WWE tag team formula where it's like, oh, waiting for the hot tag. Here comes the hot tag on Jay. Jay runs wild and all that stuff. So yeah, later on in the match, Grayson Waller gets kicked out. It's enough of a distraction for the New Day to eat a 1D and lose the match. So Usos have some forward momentum. Seems like they'll be facing off for the tag titles soon. Maybe they'll get another win or two under their belt. Who knows? But yeah, they are AJ Lee bound right now. But what do you think of this match? And I guess what do you think of the future of the Usos? Because like, yeah, we got the teases of Jay turning heel, but I don't know when that's gonna happen. Maybe during their title match they get. But yeah, what did you think of this match?
So I am glad that the Usos are back in the tag division because
Hmm.
it's just a breath of fresh air because they've been like doing like singles stuff for like quite some time. If it was like Jimmy trying to get a shot at that US title or something on SmackDown, or Jay Uso obviously, having that shot with the IC title, Royal Rumble wins, winning the world title at WrestleMania, all that jazz. Like it just feels nice because this is something I always loved about them is when they're together because it just feels so different because this is just how we saw them for so long. And don't get me wrong, they had their fair share doing what they needed to do outside of like the whole tag team thing. But it's like if you really want to breathe like some fresh air in the tag division now, I mean, I don't see any issue of just having the Usos coming back together, putting on a match at the New Day because obviously they know each other very well. They're legendary rivals when it comes to the numerous amount of matches that these two tag teams have had. So it was just nice for a change to just get back into the groove again, actually giving them something meaningful to do outside of what they were doing before because it kind of just seems like we were just spinning in a circle and everything.
Hmm.
But I am glad that they're at where they are and giving like some insights on the Jey Uso thing. It makes me curious to see exactly when it
Yeah.
happens. Like if he does end up turning heel and everything, because I do know that you did point out last week the comments that Jimmy said about like Jay's failures as of recent and everything. So you don't know for sure if that may be something he just brushes off or doesn't give a crap about, or maybe he looks into a little bit more. Maybe something happens between both of the guys, and then things go from there. Because it's like you can't really ignore how Jay was acting that one night after he lost to LA Knight when he was just talking to himself about all these different kinds of things and saying that Roman was right about all of this. It's kind of like you got to capitalize on that eventually, or say something.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are my thoughts on that. But yeah, like it definitely just felt like one of those typical WWE tag matches that we do see on the show, which is
Hmm.
also like another part of me is thinking like not to like harp on it because we already talked about it earlier, but it's like more than likely they're probably going to get a shot at those tag titles. I don't see why they won't. So it's like,
Mhm.
part of me is thinking it's like, does like AJ and Dragon Lee have to like lose those titles eventually to whoever unless they keep them before AJ gets into a feud with Gunther or something? Like, I'm not 100% sure.
Mhm.
It's not like it's a world title that
Right.
that AJ's walking around with, where he can just defend or anything. Those are just a tag titles, not like a singles championship. So it doesn't necessarily need to be one of those things. But at the same time, it's kind of like you're representing the tag division. So I don't really know
Mhm.
exactly how they work around that. But that's another conversation for another day. But I mean, all in all, they did what they needed to do tonight. They needed to get that momentum to just prepare for what they're doing next. And judging on how there's going to be a lot of tape shows, probably find that answer when we're scrolling through X.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know before Raw went on the air, they were uh recording SmackDown, which luckily they didn't. Nobody spoiled anything on SmackDown, at least during Raw, which was good.
Yeah.
And I think they might have been doing some things afterwards. I know they're doing another taping after SmackDown this Friday, so I think they're doing like a couple batch recordings and all that, which good on you. Have your wrestlers and other employees have the holidays free and all that. That's good. That's nice of you and all that. So yeah, we'll see what happens with the Usos. I guess I'm assuming Jay's crash out's going to come after they failed to win the tag titles, which okay, good on you. I did see, and I mentioned this too, like in our Discord, because I don't remember a 42 being on the back of many of Jimmy's shirts. Because
Yeah.
when I saw it, I thought about it. I was like, huh, that's odd because I started thinking about WrestleMania 42. I'm like, okay, why am I thinking of that? And a- it was mainly the color scheme too with the 42 right there. I'm just like, okay, you got the same color scheme, kind of got a similar vibe when it comes to like the fonts and all that. Uh, Again, we're coming up on WrestleMania 42. Are you guys gonna have a rematch?
Oh God, no.
Between the Usos. Yeah, that yeah, then I had that thought. I'm just like, oh God, please. No, unless you had a stipulation. No, I don't want that at Mania. Please do that somewhere else.
Hmm.
Um so yeah, it was just an interesting little thought I had. I'm like, okay, that could lead to something, but I don't know if it's something I really want, even though the roles are reversed, but we'll, we'll see, I guess. I don't know. It was just odd. And something I wanted to point out as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Hopefully we don't
Yeah.
go down that route.
Oh God, I don't want to. I don't want to. Again, if they add a stipulation, then fine. But man, it would need a stipulation. I'm just gonna throw that out there. It would need to have like some no DQ chicanery going on. Uh, but hey, speaking of chicanery, up next with our mid card stories, the kings and queens of chicanery are here tonight. The Judgment Day. That's right. We've hit our Judgment Day joints tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and we're missing Finn and JD. Apparently, JD and he had this post on Instagram as well. Apparently, he's getting some work done physically, so hopefully, everything turns out well for you, buddy. I did see him like in hospital gown and all that, so I don't know what he's getting worked on. Apparently, he's just been banged up a lot, so it's a happy, safe, speedy recovery to you, JD. But that gives Finn a chance to not be on Raw. So we just have the girls and dirty ass Dom on there. And Dom's looking forward to the main event. He's looking forward to seeing the Vision destroy his dad. So he's still being a piece of shit son towards his deadbeat dad. So that's great to see. But everybody's going to be focused on Raquel Rodriguez because she has a big title match tonight, which, nah, 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 that's all I got to say about that until we get to it. Um, yeah, pretty basic backstage segment for the Judgment Day. I mean, we didn't really plant too many seeds for the dissension between Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, but you can still kind of feel that it's there. Um, but any thoughts on the backstage segment?
I'm really wondering like when this is gonna take off, you know? Like I'm just wondering exactly like where the
Hmm.
placement is gonna be. Like I definitely need to start kicking into gear at least in January building to Mania because I feel like this could be a thread you could potentially build
Yeah,
there when it comes to like how everything's being laid out here when it comes to what's going on through Liv's head or Finn or whatever the case may be. You know, it definitely needs to be something that happens because like obviously as much as Liv hate, hates to say it, and we'll obviously talk about that match very very soon, she doesn't really like Raquel being involved in these women
no,
world title matches. She wanted to be there, and realistically, I mean that's kind of where I expected her to be too. So this threw me off guard, but obviously, you know, she has her shot towards that title, so things are factored the way it was because of that. But I I am very curious to see like, you know, what's the next step for like these people. Like it's
yeah,
like here's my thing. We obviously know like what Liv and Roxanne are doing going after the tag titles. And we know that Raquel obviously wanted a shot at Stephanie Vaquer tonight and everything, but I just really want to know like what's going on with Dom outside of just, oh yeah, I want to see my
yeah,
dad get beaten and all that. It's like, what's going on with this guy? He has the
yeah.
IC title
I
back. Who's next in line? Like,
mhm.
I don't know. It just, especially like, don't you kind of want to like boost himself a little bit after John putting him over, or like, I don't know. Like you got
Yeah,
to do
you
something
would
with him.
think. Yeah, you would think they would capitalize a little bit more on that, but maybe there was something that was supposed to happen with like him, JD, and Finn tonight that
Maybe,
we
yeah,
were supposed to get, but
yeah,
since JD's gone, it felt like okay, well, let's not worry about that at the moment. So that could be a thing because yeah, Dom didn't really do much of anything tonight. Except for be like, oh, I hope I can't wait to watch my deadbeat dad get his butt kicked, which all right, good on you. Some of us enjoy finer things in life. Some of us enjoy watching our fathers getting beaten up by a YouTuber. So hey, I'm not one to judge. Just you do you, dude. But onward to that women's world title match between Stephanie Vaquer and Raquel Rodriguez. It was a good match. Again, kind of the tale that we tell when it comes to especially Raquel in the ring. It's power versus technique. And honestly, Raquel had Stephanie's number a few times. Being able to power through a lot of moves, uh, definitely hitting Stephanie very hard. But again, Stephanie being the technician that she is, able to reverse a lot of things. She's able to hit the devil's kiss, so the the crowd is happy on the hard cam side and all that. So everything's going smoothly for a nice, good, easy win for one of these ladies. But oh look over there, what's that? That smells like plastic. Nah, that was mean. I'm sorry, that was mean. Um,
huh.
freaking no, no, because why? Okay, Nikki Bella comes out, causes a DQ. I'm just sitting here like, can we just not? Can we not have Nikki Bella involved in all this? Like, and she cuts a bad promo in the back, being like, it's so ass backwards
Yeah,
because she's claiming in that little short promo that nobody is respecting the road that she paved to get here, when clearly Stephanie and many others were thanking you for being the inspiration for them and all that on camera, mind you. Like that's why Stephanie like talked to you in the first place, was to be like, "Oh, you're a great person. You're awesome. You're fantastic. We wouldn't be here without you today." Blah blah blah. Like she was literally kissing your ass, and you're gonna sit there and stand there and be like, "Oh, nobody respects the road I paved on." Man, that's revisionist history right there. And I don't know if that's just a heel thing to say or if it's just shitty writers, but I'd rather go with
shitty
shitty
writers,
writers and
shitty writers.
and poor execution on Nikki's part, because then she's just like, they should be out here cleaning my boots. And like she said the line, and I'm sitting here like, I don't believe you. Like, you're not selling me at all with this character. Like, okay, fine. I guess we're gonna get a triple threat maybe for the first Raw of the new year,
Oh
because
boy.
they're starting to hype that up now as the 1 year anniversary of Raw on Netflix. It's like,
Oh
all
yeah,
right,
we definitely
cool.
want
We're
that.
gonna load up the show. Cool.
Yeah,
All right.
that's definitely like a star, 5-star match like, in the works. Triple threat. Yeah, I didn't care about this either, man. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care about getting the match again. I don't care about Nikki Bella getting involved again. Like, it doesn't do anything for me. Like, I get why they did it the first
Yeah.
time, because at least the first time it made sense. Now it doesn't. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, Charity beat you. What else do you have to prove? You're just gonna go up against her
Yeah.
again and lose. You're not convincing anybody with whatever route you're trying to walk down now. It's like Watkins said, you're not really selling us on like what you're doing and everything,
Yeah.
and getting involved in the match, DQ. Now you want to tease a triple threat potentially the at the Raw show on January 5th. I mean, okay. Like, there's a lot of stuff we could be doing with Stephanie Vaquer right now, but apparently she just keeps needing doing all these side quests. And this is nothing towards Raquel. They could have put on a match. Stephanie could have won. They could have moved on or whatever. And then we could see exactly, what Stephanie was going to be doing heading into the new year. But now you're getting all this involved, and I don't know. It's like you already lost. Like, there's nothing else to prove.
Mm. Yeah, there's really not at all. And if anything, I feel kind of bad for Raquel here, because like she gets screwed out of her title shot yet again.
Mm,
Um, like if we had an actual definitive winner for this match, all right, fine, cool, neat, awesome. But like, why are we prolonging it with Nikki Bella right now?
mhm.
Like, oh my gosh. I want less Nikki on my screen. I'm sorry, people. I'm not a fan of Nikki Bella. It's okay if you are. That's cool. That's great. That's awesome. I'm not, so I don't want her on my screen. At least in a wrestling capacity. I'll say that much.
Mhm.
Acting or whatever else. All right, fine, cool, neat. Not
Yeah,
wrestling.
that ship
Not
has
wrestling. I'm
sailed.
sorry. I'm sorry. It's
That
just I'm done. I'm
the
done. I'm
ship
done
has
with the
sailed
wrestling
for
part of
that.
it. Oh my god. But hey, we got a plethora of quickfire segments, and I kind of feel bad putting one of these as one, but I don't have much to say on it other than it was a great job. But let's go through the quickfire segments really quickly, as it were. The Kabuki Warriors vow to get vengeance on Rio by January 5th in a video package, and later they beat down the duo. Great video package, I thought, from the Kabuki Warriors, kind of showing, especially in Kyrie's part, how the brainwashing, I guess, has worked, because she's very upset that Io left the Kabukis. All right, cool, fine. That, I guess, justifies your actions? Question mark. I don't know. Fine. At least we have an explanation. That's something. But yeah, then they beat up Rio later on in the night. We're gonna get Rhea Ripley versus Asuka next week. Which, okay, yes, please, like, give them time at least. Surprising it's not a special stipulation, since they're kind of billing it as like a holiday special. So okay, no stipulation at least yet. All right, fine, cool, whatever, neat. Um, yeah, I mean, pretty straightforward segment. Io protects Rhea from a flying elbow. All right, cool. We're just gonna, that's our build for this tag title match. Cool, neat, awesome. Javon Evans has a run in with the Americanos, getting a match with him versus one of them next week on Raw. Cool, awesome. We had a great showing from our new IC Women's Champion, Maxxine Dupri, as she defended her title against Ivy Nile successfully, mind you. But I thought Maxine looked really good in this match. And if she continues to improve, continues to look more confident in the ring, which is always a plus. her reversal of that reverse suplex that Ivy was trying to do, which was almost like it was almost a Hurricane Rana,
Mm.
but she kind of turned it into a pile driver in a way. Like I thought that was a really cool reversal there. And there was another move that she pulled off that I thought was really cool. I don't know, like Maxine at least is adding to her repertoire and again looking more confident in the ring. Love to see it. Successful title defense. Good on you. Great. Awesome. And afterwards, we do see Bailey congratulating Maxine on a job well done. And she gets hyped up by Lyra Valkyria for Bailey's match against Roxanne Perez next week because I guess Bailey's second guessing herself because she lost to somebody that's has less experience than her. But hey, just a couple slaps from Lyra and you're back to normal, Bailey. Isn't that great? I guess that's their dynamic here, which I'll say this. I enjoy this dynamic, this Lyra Bailey interaction with like Lyra kind of pissing Bailey off to get her to be a little better and all that. I kind of like that a little more than the whole split personality thing. At least we're not heavily leaning on the split personality, at least with this and other segments that we've been getting with these two. So yeah, I mean, some quick fire segments for you guys, some quick thoughts on them. Drop what do you think of these quick fire segments? Any more thoughts or any other deep dives you want to do with these thoughts? Go ahead, lay it on us.
So I am happy we are getting the match with the Kabuki Warriors and with Rhea and Io, because I feel like now that we got that confirmed, we can get the match because there's story there, so it makes sense. And hopefully everybody else can move on to the main event scene. Because I mean, we got this match happen at January 5th for the tag titles. I feel like we kind of got the answer to that question, so maybe that can help out SmackDown in the main division for the ladies. I kind of feel like that's
Mm-hmm.
just an easy door to open now. Maybe I'm wrong, who knows? But it was a really good a promo package showing, what route the Kabuki Warriors are on right now, and I really like when they do vignettes like that. It's really nice to really help
Mm-hmm.
people know what they're saying so they're able to speak and they're able to express themselves in that in their own way, which is something I always appreciated with this new administration, which is when it comes to these kind of video packages. And Javon Evans going up against one of the Americanos, cool. And he'll get an easy win there. And Maxine, like you said, she did have a really good showing tonight when it comes to her first title defense. So that's something I really do appreciate. I really liked how much she was pushing herself out there and showing all of that training that she had with Natty. So that was pretty cool. And when it comes to Lyra and that whole segment that she had with Bailey, I mean, hey, it is the next generation of superstars. Some people are going to catch you off guard. You'll eventually
Mm-hmm.
recover from it. You'll move on. So it was nice to see Lyra just hype up Bailey, just talk that trash to her to get that energy pumping again so she can get to where she needs to be. And yeah, that's basically all I have to really say about those quickfire segments, really. I mean, it's like the title says itself,
Yeah.
they're quickfire segments. We give our quick thoughts, and we'll see what
Yeah.
happens for those matches next week.
Yeah. And I just do want to point out though, like
Mm.
Maxine Dupri, she did
Oh,
she
yeah.
did wonderfully tonight. I
Yeah,
thought
she did.
like I think this was definitely a match that she needed to have just to kind of not only showcase where she's come with her training and all that, but to also kind of prove that she can handle a match that's not against a veteran or
Mm-hmm.
anything. And especially with again this newfound confidence that she has, because yeah, if she had dropped the title tonight, not saying that she would have, but if she did for some odd reason, I mean, they would be sitting here questioning, okay, what are we doing right now? Just hot potatoing this IC title belt
Mm-hmm.
between people, just giving out participation trophies. Nah, that's not how this works, son. Not at all. But with that being said, I'll tell you exactly how this works. We've reached our final thoughts, our outro of the show, if you will. We're going to
Mm-hmm.
spout yet again how we thought about Raw. And you know what? Again, I thought it was a fun show. We had a great opening segment with Gunther just smiling about how he made John Cena tap out and all that. We had the stuff with the Vision that has me intrigued, especially when it comes to like Austin Theory possibly joining the group or maybe just being an ally with the group as like a quote unquote hired gun, if you will. Kind of like what Bronson Reed was before you joined the group, but cool, neat, fine, whatever. Need Braun Breaker with that title belt yesterday. It's so perfect on him. Just crown him at January 5th. Please, please, please. And have him do it by himself. I think that's going to be a little bit more palatable. But again, execution is king. Everything else, it was pretty good. Had some good tag team action, had some good women's matches tonight, had some decent segments and all that. Like nothing again really pissed me off or maybe be like, oh, I'm bored right now. But everything was good. We're in a good direction going forward. Hopefully we can end 2025 on a good high positive note and start 2026 on just an explosive, like we're here kind of moment thing, like kind of like what you tried to do earlier this year with the Netflix premiere. So maybe the annual event of the start of Raw on Netflix can be a just as good, if not better, show than last year. So yeah, what did you think of Raw overall tonight drop?
So I thought tonight was fun. Obviously, the highlight was Gunther. I loved what they did with Gunther tonight. I thought everything they did here was what was needed to do in order to really push Gunther to the next level when it comes to how they want to structure his next path moving forward. So I was really happy about that. I love the promo Punk gave to Braun. It really needs to toughen up Braun. So when he comes to face him on January 5th, hopefully he can go out there, prove Punk wrong, win the title, take it home, celebrate and everything. Because, I mean, he's in a really big position right now. So I'm hoping that they really do take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping they have some sort of solid plan with Theory, knowing how he's the mystery man. That's my biggest question moving forward. Like, okay, that's a good spot to have him in. Let's see what you do with him moving forward. Maybe give him a mic, explain his reasoning. Like you said, this could be a way to level himself up. We'll just have to wait and see exactly like what he says that following show when he addresses the audience and lets everybody know exactly what his game plan is moving forward. Which I kind of feel like one of the main reasons probably why they did the reveal tonight is because they have all these tape shows for the rest of the year. So that could be another
Yeah.
reason why they did it, because they kind of wanted to get like that live feel of it happening instead of just,
Mm-hmm.
oh, hey, look, it's reported online and everything, and you're just going to see it taped.
Yeah.
So there's that. And yeah, we'll see what happens with that little holiday show next week. Hopefully there's some insightful conversations coming out of that, but who knows?
Hopefully. Yeah, I didn't even think about that with Theory. Huh. Didn't even think about that. But oh well, that's besides the point. Maybe you thought about that. Let us know in the comment section down below. Let us know in the chat as we wrap up the show here. Oh wait, sorry. I was just looking at the chat right there. So just glad you guys showed up and all that. So thank you as always for checking out the Weebs of the Ring podcast and taking time out of your day to listen to us, whether it's live here or you're listening to the VOD or the audio feed. If you're listening to that lovely little thing, you downloaded our episode. Aren't you just special? Aren't you just great? We love the support, seeing you guys out there. But hey, if you enjoyed what we had to say, why not subscribe to the channel? Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, get notified every time we go live or upload a video. Stay tuned this week. We're not only going to have our usual SmackDown fun, but we are going to do kind of a end of the year awards show for not only just WWE, but we'll lump in NXT, AEW. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, the and the oh my god, why are we talking about this segments from this past year when it comes to pro wrestling. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be on Thursday during our usual grappling with the week time frame. And also be sure to check out all of our social medias. All those links are in the description below. You can also see our nice, lovely handles in the yellow section right there on your screen. Right there as you're watching it, you have at Animal We Studio. That's the parent company. You got at Weebs of the Ring. That's where we're at on all those social media platforms. You've also got our individual ones at Legendy Vash, at Drop This Box, at Watkins MW. That's our individual pages. So you can talk to us there about anything else that's beyond wrestling, but always use that hashtag Weebs of the Ring so you can interact with us before, during, or after these shows. Because, hey, it's also a great way to give us feedback, and we're nothing without you guys tuning in, and we enjoy getting that positive criticism back at us. So that way, hey, maybe we can level up our game as much as Austin Theory is trying to level up his own game. Ah, man. But, hey, that's besides the point. Thank you so much for checking us out. Weaves of the Ring is presented by Animal We Studio. Thanks, of course, to our production team for all of their hard work to make this show a reality. Thank you once again for joining us. And remember, as always, no stunt grannies were harmed in the recording of this podcast. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll see you Thursday for the first annual Weebie Awards.
See you there. Have a good night, everybody.